Guys! We are back for another Dokkan battle video. So there actually is a lot to discuss. I was anticipating that we would be getting some upcoming content. I thought it would be like very light content, like maybe an Extreme Super Battle Road stage, a Dokkan Frontier stage. Honestly, what we've got right here, this does make a ton of sense. This kind of like does this is like content they could create while putting in like, I mean, I don't want to say like no effort, but like just like minimal, like they could get the content out. But I would say this is actually very good content. This is what they should do literally every single celebration, right? I almost feel, well, I guess because they do EX missions for both banners, but almost like 3 sets of EX missions every celebration would be good. You would have, the EX missions for, the first part 1 character and the part 2 character, right? Boom, that's all done. But then a third set of EX missions, which it looks like we're getting right here, for other types of content, I think is very good. The older EX missions, the way they were done, where it would be like, here, let me just open up the playlist for it, the EX mission playlist. I will pause. Okay, so the way these used to work, right? Like if we go all the way back, right? So like these Red Zone Buhan missions right here. I remember these. These came out when Dokkan Fest Tech Buhan came out. A variety of different missions to get done, right? Then we have these Full Power Frieza EX missions right here. These missions came out when the Namek base form Vegeta came out, right? So it's like, besides like what might normally come in terms of content for the celebration, we could get missions. And I mean, even if it's an older stage, depending upon the way the missions are structured, it could still be a reasonable challenge, right? In these older content stages. So this is very good. Like this is good, I think good ass content. Absolutely. And that's what it looks like we're going to get some of this here. So, okay. I think this is 2 different things, by the way. It looks weird the way they place this here. This is not, I think, one thing. I think there's 2 different things being placed here. Number 1, we're going to get new missions for the Ultimate Red Zone. Remember, this is this event right here, Ultimate Red Zone. This is not an RE Red Zone. This is just the Ultimate Red Zone, all of the original Red Zone stages, right? Where, they have, even recently, as 2 months ago in June, they did drop new missions for this event. My guess here is probably Red Zone Kid Buu will get missions, probably what's going to happen, which is stage 42. I bet this is where we would get these new missions at maybe Battle of Wits against Kid Buu or something like that. Might be what we get right here. And again, new missions, and then we have Ultimate Red Zone, right? And then there's also this. So when I made the tweet for the upcoming content here, I think I did actually make a mistake here, right? If we take a look at this, right here is my upcoming content tweet. This is not correct, right? There is going to be missions for RE Red Zone and RE Supreme Innocent Battle. That's true. But there's also missions, I think, for this. So I think there's 3 steps. Like, this will just be, again, like, probably Battle of Wits against Kid Buu is what I bet it'll be. And then here, missions related to RE Ultimate Red Zone and Supreme Innocent Battle RE will be available. Take on the missions with teams you can take pride in, aim to complete them. So I think there'll be a mission for this that will be a permanent mission, in this event, just like right here. These are all permanent missions. It is funny. People like, I'm going to do a follow-up video talking about another topic, but it is very interesting to me, like how, like, okay, damn, I'm not going to be able to word this correctly today. Okay, even when they were doing RE content, I saw people saying, oh, they're doing that because they don't want there to be too many stones for players to get. Like, that's just so fucking stupid. Straight up. You realize Iron Cane still hasn't used all of his free stones? Like, they're not, like, bro, look at this, right? Like, no, like, people actually, I think, just go to an extreme of thinking that they are gonna fucking penny pinch with some of these events, dude. Like, it's Anyway, I can't even. I can't even. But this Kid Buu mission is going to be a mission that is going to be in here, in this event right here. And then we'll get EX missions for some of the RE Red Zones and RE Supreme Magnificent Battle. Now, I'm not sure which ones we might see related to this. I guess for the Supreme Magnificent Battle, it's probably this. And a villain one, huh? You know, it's actually going to be, I think, a little bit easier for me to just track it, looking at it like this, the way this is displayed. Okay, so I would imagine probably an EX mission for Supreme Magnificent Battle would be against, like, the Goku. Because remember, the celebration we're in is Mini Daima Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then, you know, like the Arinzu, the Pansy, these characters. Like, this is the celebration we're in. So I would think that these EX missions will probably be, like, at least skewed towards these characters. And one of the reasons I think that Red Zone Kid Buu is what we'll get that Red Zone mission for. We'll talk about more. I'm going to do a separate video talking about this. So 21 and the other 21, they both are actually used, like, they're using physical Kid Buu medals, right? You know, because I guess like 21, like, her creation, like, she is using cells of all the fighters and Majin Buu, right? So that's why she's kind of like got, like, you know, I don't know, I guess that look about her, right? So, like, that's, you know, one of the missions I think would be tied closely towards what's actually going on in the game, right? So if we jump on over here, RE Red Zone, so we have Superhero, and then we have the GT Edition. Yeah, wait, that's it. We just have the two. I'm not sure. It'll probably be just Cell Max then, right? Because, I mean, 21 is still an Android. So that might be just the way they do it. Because this one is, you know, the Fighters of the Universe, or whatever they call it, which has, like, Lude, Legic, Baby. And then there's the Super 17 stage. And then there's the Omega stage. Now, we've only got 2 RE Red Zones. What's funny is, in my head, I thought we had more, but it's just that we've had so many Supreme Magnificent Battle REs, right? A ton of those. They've mostly been doing superclass fights this year. Yeah, so it probably would just end up, I would guess, being missions for the Supreme Magnificent Battle RE Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then probably missions for Cell Max. Is what I would guess that they are. The Daima Goku missions probably would be very easy. This fight is, he just sits there serving up his attacks to you on a silver platter. I find this guy to be a very easy fight. This guy, I think, is much more challenging because his damage is just so high that a lot of characters could be in trouble. But, you know, I think that same concept of him serving his attacks up to you on a silver platter does apply to this fight as well, right? So, with missions related to this, I mean, I do think that Battle Wits team would mostly probably do fine in here. I mean, Arinsu would be able to handle slot 1 no problem. Some of the other characters, like, you know, Pansy and Android 18 would be okay. Android 21, I think that this is potentially the type of fight she might struggle in, but I mean, we'll see. It's just, the problem is we will end up against this guy on, like, turn 2, and Android 21 doesn't transform until turn 5, right? Like with the AGL Android 21. So we'll see what types of missions we might actually see dropping, right? So that's it for this. We just have these 3. I think this will probably be it for this celebration, right? I don't think that there's going to be anything more. Next week, I think we're going to be walking into the GDC countdown. It'll be towards the end of next week, but I think that there's a good chance, like, you know, we're going to get the data download tonight, and then Android 21 should be releasing on the 13th, I guess, at 1 a.m. my time, would be my expectation for when she releases, right? And I don't think it's going to be like a full week until the next, when the countdown begins, which will be, it's like in this range right here, right? Where the GDC countdown is going to start. So once we release Android 21, it mostly is just going to be the lookout for, you know, any GDC teasers and stuff. Looks as though there's not going to be World Tournament if World Tournament was going to be dropping, we would have a notice in the news that there's an upcoming World Tournament. So World Tournament is not happening this week. I I don't know. I feel like I doubt it's happening next week, next weekend. So I don't know. We might not have another World Tournament for quite a while, or maybe I mean, they might be gearing up World Tournament for the end of GDC. If it truly is Namek, Cell Saga, Buu Saga, we get the, tag Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta versus Kid Buu LR, and then we could complete the celebration with a World Tournament, which is how DBZ ends. I think that could make a ton of sense to me. But I mean, I speak for everyone when I say we're over free to play OOB cards. I'd love to see a Dokkan Fest Oob at this point, right? Probably from GT Majub, but yeah, we need a major Oob. But like maybe they would just tie it into maybe Oob from the end of DBZ is just the next Dokkan Fest, right? He's just like a regular Dokkan Fest TUR after GDC. That would be such cinema, I think. That would be cool. I'd be totally down with that, right? So, all right. Let me know what you guys think. So we're gonna have the two Android 21s are easying. And then we're going to have missions for the Red Zone event, an Ari Red Zone, and an Ari Supreme Innocent Battle. So we're gonna have a lot of kind of like missions to hold us over for, again, a good week, right? 21, 21, and these, I think, 3 sets of missions is what it is. Will last us until next week for the GDC countdown. So let me know what you angels think. I'll catch you guys next time.